Hello, Pisces. Thank you for tuning in to your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I seem to be stuck in this rut with them. I don't know. They're giving me good answers, so I'm sticking with them. All right. First half, relationship. Second half, singles. Oracle cards come out as needed. Okay. I'm already curious what's going on here. I am going to pull out a couple of these. I feel like we're done. There's only two. Seems to be a thing lately. I put out 2 oracle cards. It seems to be it. I don't know why. Well, let's see. Doesn't matter as long as the messages come through, I suppose. Now, your partner. I've noticed this is really the Sun card on your partner's side. That's a strong card anyway. I'm getting like this is where they're coming from when it comes to this situation. There's something about this that they very much love, and they're very much in love with you, connected with this situation. I hope that makes sense. Something that you're doing with them, you're part of this situation with them, and they're liking your connection here. They're liking how it has been. Now, I'm also getting like they're stuck in the past. This seems to be a problem. The 6 of Cups and the Sun card, like they're looking at the history of where you've been. Something about the history of this is where they seem to be, they're dwelling there because they like it. But this seems to be a problem in this situation. We'll find out soon, I suppose. Because I'm also getting for your side, you're very steadfast in this relationship. You're very dependable. The support they need has always been there. I'm wondering if this is something where you've supported your partner in a rough time. And they've gotten used to this support. And I almost feel like the time where you need to hold them up like this has kind of passed. And it's time for them to stand on their own again. That's what I'm feeling, and that might be the problem. Because I feel like they're very comfortable in. Now, the 2 of Wands seems to be causing this situation to drone on. The 2 of Wands is like liking some aspects of it, getting the praise, but feeling like it's kind of worn out its welcome. It's kind of time to change, but feeling like, you know what, things are kind of good the way they are. Maybe I don't want to rock the boat, even though, you know what, it's kind of time to, put things back in perspective of the way they should be. It's almost like you're identifying with, like, this is an imbalance of power. This isn't good. I understand this feels good, and, everything seems to be fine, but this is an imbalance of power. And you're feeling like, I feel like if this is connecting with you, you're kind of okay with how things are, but you're realizing this is an imbalance of power. The Oracle card, it's up to you, is on both of these cards, honestly. Because I feel like you are dependable, and you're very stable when it comes to your partner, but it's up to you how much longer this is going to last, because this is not something that can just be how it is from now on. I just don't feel like that's how it can be any longer. I feel like you helped them through a rough spot, and they're loving it. They'd like it to always be that way, but I feel like you're realizing this is an imbalance of power. This isn't good. This has to go back to a more even keel, and more, sure, you were helping a little bit more at this point because they were feeling like they couldn't do stuff or they needed some help, and that's great. But this doesn't mean this is how it goes from now on. The whole point is to help your partner get back up, which you did, and now it's time to get things back to normal. And I don't feel like you're against that in the sense of like you like how it feels. I feel like things are very comfortable right now, and you realize your partner's happy, but you're also like, you know what, this really has to go back to the way it should be, rather than the way it is at the moment. Excuse me. All right, so your partner, I feel like they're realizing this can't continue the way it is. And I'm getting that I feel like this is a problem for a lot of them. The Hermit card is on their side because I feel like they're realizing, like, you know what, it's time to get back to normal. It's time to get back on my feet. I feel like they're realizing that. Is it the 7? Yes. The 7 of Cups on your side, especially when I feel like this is going towards your partner, you're giving them options. I don't feel like you're just kicking them into the water. I feel like you're like, you know what, we could do it this way or that way, but I feel like you are having this conversation, like, you know what, I realize you can go back to the way things were now. It's time to put things back in perspective. I feel like you're giving them options on how to do this. I feel like you are. And I'm getting, like, at first, like, when this comes forward, they're in this spot where they're thinking it through. They might be dragging their feet a little bit. A little bit. I don't think that's bothering you so bad. Dragging their feet but still moving forward is okay. But you're definitely pushing out there, like, you know what, we need to get this back on the normal path here. Why is this a problem? Because I feel like this is a problem. They have the Magician on their side for their spiritual sense, where they are spiritually. It's time for them to get back into that creative moment, back into that. I feel like this is more about pulling together resources and getting back on that horse and going back into the battle the way you normally would be. This is for them, though. I mean, this is how they would be. But I feel like this might be going a different way. I'm kind of getting like, what do you? I don't know how to put this nicely. Like screwing around a bit, using your abilities, like, not you, them. I feel like using the abilities to kind of like make things kind of stretch out a little longer than they should. Maybe even trying to skirt around some responsibilities and trying to get you to keep them permanently, some pieces of this. That's how it feels. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is how it's coming through for me. Because I feel like there's a lot of creativity here, and they're really loving how this was. They liked that you were giving them that break. They liked it. They don't want to take everything back on that they should. And I feel like the Magician card here is telling me, like, they're kind of trying to maneuver this around so they don't have to take on everything. I'm not really sure that's going to work. I don't feel like, even though the Magician card's here and it's Major Arcana, I get that, but I feel like, I don't know, I don't think they're going to go away with it. I just don't feel like that's going to happen. It's kind of a little bit of a debauchery going on here, and I feel like it's just kind of a little bit of foolishness, and I feel like you're very accommodating in the sense of, like, all right, you don't have to do it all right now. We can weed it in different ways, but I don't feel like you're letting him get out of it. Whoever this person, him, her, whatever, however it might fall for, I don't feel like you're letting them get out of it, but you're kind of being a little more giving, like, all right, maybe you can't take it all on right now because that would be a shock to the system. I get that. But you know what? We're going to do this. Every week, you take 2 things back, and then by the time a couple months go by, you'll have everything back the way they should be. Something like that. Because I feel like you're seeing them do this, and you're just kind of like, all right, I'll work with you on this. We'll do it, we'll space it out over time, and then by this point, you'll have it all back. So they're trying to, I feel like they're trying to skirt out of some things. I really do. Fair or not fair, that's what I'm feeling. But I feel like you're kind of like, I'll work with you on this, but you have to take everything back. I mean, I'll give you some extra time to get used to it, but we got to move this all back to where it was. Like, fair is fair. Now, this is very interesting because they get the 4 of Pentacles plus the Judgment where they're standing. They're holding on. They're trying to keep it. They liked the Sun card in the past. Like, who wouldn't like the Sun card in the past? I can't say that I blame them. I can't, because I understand how good that feels. But the 4 of Pentacles is them trying to hold on to that. The Judgment card, though, is saying this is fair, and they know it. The Judgment in their favor, it's saying that they're capable and they're ready, and it's time. And I feel like the Judgment is where they're standing because they realize this is fair. Like, it's fair. They realize that. Now, you got two cards going on here. When they're going through this and this whole change is happening, because they're at that spot, they realize it's time. You got the Seven of Pentacles. Yep, Seven of Pentacles and Seven of Wands. So, like, I feel, I'm getting, like, I'm honestly, the sevens there are really punching in really strong for me. But I'm getting it's more like a week's effort. Like, it's going to take you a week to keep going to get something set. I kind of feel like that's what's happening here. They're saying it's going to take a good week for you to go through this with them. Have these talks. It might be more than one talk. It might take you a minute or two to, like, sort it out. But after, like, a week, you're going to get this on track. And it's going to be, like, I feel like you're still going on and doing what you need to do, but you're starting to overcome these obstacles. I feel like you might feel, here we go. There might be a feeling of being a little bit overburdened. Because it keeps coming back, and I've been trying to not say it, but they're telling me, you know what, you need to say it. That's why we're pushing it forward. You might feel a little overburdened. And I feel that what's going to happen here is that you're going to see this reprieve slowly coming your way, and you're okay with that. And the farther this goes, it's just going to get easier and easier for you, and it's what's fair, because I feel like you're doing too much at this point. It's been going on for long enough. Good. Okay. Now, this last part is good. I saw one card here, and I'm seeing why. I understand now why it's here, because in the beginning I was just like, that seemed very strange to me how these added up, but now it seems like it makes sense. You have the Emperor on your side. You're definitely looking out for your partner just as much as yourself. This is a community thing. This is a cooperative thing. You're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing, in the sense of, like, you're not taking advantage of anybody. You're not letting anybody take advantage of you. You have that trust in them. You understand where they're coming from, but you're making sure you're holding strong here. The Emperor is very strong. It's a strong energy. This person puts their foot down, and this is how it's going to be, and we're just going to keep stepping one foot in front of the other. We're going to keep going. We're going to get this done. We're going to get this done. And this person is very much about looking out for other people too. And that's what you're doing here. Because this needs to balance out. It's an imbalance of power. It's not good for either of you for this to keep going the way it is. So it's just what needs to happen right now. This is good. And you seem to have this very evolved view of it. The sense of, like, you're stepping outside of this, and you're like, you know what? I would like to do things. And, like, I understand that this makes my partner feel good, but I know this isn't good for me for X, Y, and Z, but this isn't good for them either for X, Y, Z, and any other reason you got going on there. You seem to see it, though. That's the whole point of this. Like, it's not just about you, it's about them, too. You doing this for them, continuing on, would not be good for either of you. Good? Good. All right. And, this is what's making things better, by the way. This is a positive, good thing. Ironically, what's making things better for them is this Ten of Swords, which I feel a lot of people are going to be like, how is that good? Because the party's over. Party is over. Like, it's going to take a few weeks, because I'm getting this a few weeks. Within the next few weeks, that's the card here. If you want to see it, you can see the words at the bottom. Nice little picture going on there. But you're also noticing, like, there's people going upstairs and stuff and doing some work in the background. Like, it's going to take a few weeks. The Ten of Swords actually helps them, because they're realizing, you know what, show's over. Party's over. Let's wrap it up. Let's get it back on track. Time for everybody to do what they're supposed to do. Ten of Swords, like, they're really bothered by letting go of this Sun in the past. Like, I feel like you did a lot here. And I don't feel like they want to get back into the same thing again. I don't feel like they want to get back into the routine. And I don't know, it just feels like it's kind of like summer vacation's over, party's over, that type feel. Like, yes, they're devastated that they can't keep going the way they were. They were really enjoying it. But you know what? It's time to move forward. This is coming up in the good spot. Like, this has to happen. Like, this is, like, you realize when your partner, like you're the partner in this situation. when they need you, you're there. But you know what? This swings both ways. They just need to realize that it's time to move forward, and they're accepting it. I feel like that's why this is coming up in the good spot. They're accepting it. Like, that time is over. It's time to get back to the way things should be. I just feel like they're having a hard time because they really did enjoy it the way it was. They really loved it. It was great. And they're just kind of like a little devastated that it's done. That, party's over. I don't know how else to say that. It's just the phrase that keeps coming to me is party's over. All right, let's get back into it. Now, between the two of you, this card is connecting your Emperor and their Ten of Swords. That's the King of Pentacles. This relationship, if this is hitting with you, this relationship is very solid. And there's a lot of stability here. There's a lot of honor. There's a lot of strength. This is built on a lot of strength. And basically, because this is how things go, like, I feel like especially the way this is being handled, like, yes, I'm there when you need me, but, we're not going to overdo it. We're just not going to overdo this. You need to be back in your proper position. I need to have things back the way they were. Things need to be back the way they should be. This is a very stable, this is good. Things are going back the way they should be. I'm getting, there's a lot of stability here with the King of Pentacles. I'm getting this is representative of the relationship as a whole. Very solid, very strong. Knows, like, you both seem to be on the same page, like this is the right thing to do. Again, they had the judgment for where they were standing. Sure, they're holding on with that Four of Pentacles. They really liked that Sun card in the past. But you know what? They know it's fair. They're very much, and they know you care, and they know everything. It's fair. It's the way it should be happening right now. They seem to be realizing that. The only reason they have that Ten of Swords is because, who wants to walk away from the Sun card? I mean, just to be fair, who wants to walk away from that? We're good here? Good. All right, let's do Pisces single. Pisces is single. Messages for single Pisces. Messages for single Pisces. Empowering messages that help them move forward in life the way they want to give them insight and heads up on anything coming their way that they need to prepare for, strengthening and lightening information. All right. Got the Hermit card at the bottom here. Let's see how he folds in, because this card is behind him too, I'm noticing. I'm wondering if you're looking for that happy thing. See, there's something, I feel like this is a good reading we got going on here, but we got to see where it's going. So I don't want to prejudge cards. Now, when I see the Hermit at the bottom here, I did notice that the Sun card was kind of peeking out. It was kind of like that when I put it down. So, like, I feel like you're evaluating the situation, and you're hopeful. You're kind of having that romantic, dreamy moment. Like, you know what? Maybe. Like, I feel like you're there. I feel like you're trying to keep it together. Is that what you're doing? I feel like you're trying to keep it together. In your thoughts, you have some definite feelings about what's going on here. You would like to take action. Your thoughts are action-oriented. I'm not sure you're doing that just yet. I'm going to have to get a little deeper in here. But I feel like you're inspired to get things going. You're inspired to jump in. You're standing in the spot of possibility, though. While you're thinking you'd like to jump in, you're kind of standing in a spot where you're just like, I would like to jump in, but am I actually jumping into water, or what am I jumping into? Like, looks like water. Looks like water. It's kind of like that. Like, oh, well, looks like water. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I feel like there's a little bit of an ambivalence here, just a little. Because I'm noticing the king is in your thoughts, but I don't know if you're going to actually make that happen. Because the reason is you're standing in a spot where you're kind of looking at the possibilities, but I feel like you're standing here questioning what you're looking at. Like, you're trying to figure out which one of these cups is true. which is actual, what's actually happening here? Like, is there a couple things going on here? Like, I feel like these cups are representing a little bit of confusion, to tell you the truth, about what is actually happening here. Which one of these cups actually has the water? And I feel like you're looking at somebody you have eyes on, and you're wondering if your cup is filled with water for them, or if they have a different cup for someone else, filled with water for someone else, filled with love, filled with water, you know. There's like a little bit of confusion, I feel like that's what we're saying with this card. I mean, usually it talks about options, I get that, but I'm getting like, it's wondering like, is this person you like seeing you as an option they want, or do they have somebody else in mind? Like, that's why you're not moving forward yet. Okay, there we go. Finally landed. Ooh. Now, I got the King of Swords. Swords, communication, yeah, air and all that other good stuff. Now, this person though, the King energy says what they want to say, but when they want to say it, if they don't want to talk, they will not talk. That being what it is, you're playing this very close to the chest. And I feel like the reason you're doing that is because you got the moon card at the top here. But sometimes I'm noticing, maybe it's a Pisces thing, but I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Maybe it is a Pisces thing. But some people I've noticed, when this moon energy comes towards them, it gives them a little bit of a questioning atmosphere. Like, they're aware that things might feel better than they actually are. And they might be very aware that, you know what, they're walking through a moonlit night, and that they're not sure of what they're seeing, and they're not reacting to it too quickly because the uncertainty, like they don't want to move, they don't want to mix, I don't know, they don't want to react to something that's not really happening. If something comes towards them, that's one thing, but I don't know if I don't know if this is a Pisces thing or not, to be honest, and I am a Pisces, but I know some people do this, and I've seen this in other readings, where that moon energy will come in, and they'll be like, you know what, I know this is just, it's not in the right light right now, I know it's not, and I don't know how I want to react to it, because I don't know what's actually happening here. I know if I just hold on, it'll sort itself out, so they'll just kind of pull back and they'll reserve, and I feel like that's what you're doing, you're pulling back, because you're like, I don't know what's really happening here. And I feel like you're aware of this. This is actually a very positive way this card comes up sometimes. Because I feel like you're aware of it. It's like the weather that you're working through. You're like, it's just like this for now, but you're very aware of it. Like, you're like, no, I know, I've been through this. I felt this before. And I don't know if it's going left or right. And I need the sunrise to happen before I can really make a decision on what I want to do here. So you're holding back a little bit. And the two center cards really are kind of backing that up, in my opinion. You got the Two of Wands and you got the Queen of Cups. Especially if you look at the Queen of Cups in this deck, she has her hand over that cup. You're holding it together. You're looking at the possibilities, but you're like, you know what? I'm not sharing my feelings just yet. I also feel like you might be holding it back from yourself a little bit. You might be like pushing it back, or like not letting yourself think about it too much, trying not to get too connected. But it is the Queen of Cups, which is telling me you already have feelings for this person that you're looking at. And I feel like you might be trying to a little bit kid yourself about how strong this already is. But if you look at it a little closer, you'll realize your thoughts are already kind of popping up. Like, you're thinking about them in random times. You just want to see them every now and then. You just maybe pop over to their Facebook just so you can see their cute little face. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you're like, you're kind of like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, fine. Meanwhile, you're doing these little activities that I feel like you know that, there's a little bit more there than just if it moves on, you're not going to be all that happy about it. Good? Okay. The Two of Wands especially makes me feel like you're waiting it out. You're waiting to see if both of these wands actually exist. You're thinking, you know what, if I just wait for daybreak, I'll know exactly what's true here, and from there I can do what I need to do. Good? Good. I think we already talked about this, but I will pull this in. The Seven of Swords. The Moon card, I feel like this is a past influence of the Moon card. You've been burned before thinking something there that wasn't, which is why I feel like this is why you're holding back with this Moon moment. You realize this is a passing phase, but in the past you've felt it and you've gone with it, and it's kind of, you ended up having to walk away because it wasn't exactly what you thought it was. That's what I'm getting from the Seven of Swords. Like, this is the past influence from the Moon. And you're just kind of like, I've kind of misstepped before, which is why you're holding back and waiting to see how this, I need daybreak. I need daybreak first. You know what I mean? I need daybreak, because I know if it's something is really there, it can wait till daybreak. If something is, like, I feel like you're in that spot too. Like, you're realizing, if something really is there, it can wait till daybreak. I can hold off for a moment and wait to see how this lands. There's no panic, quick run, fast forward, because if it's that close, it wasn't going to happen anyway. Because is there a feeling? I feel like we're good. Are we good with that? I'm still pulling towards the Moon a bit, so I'm wondering if there's something else they want to say with that. I think we're good. Now, you have the Justice in your future. You're making a smart move. And then this was face down. You got Justice. I do feel like you're going to start seeing this person on some level. I'm getting closer things coming forward. I'm getting the Justice card is like you're taking this slow. I do feel like you're taking this slow. And the advice is to stretch this out over the next few months. I feel like that's advice. I feel like this is it actually. And this time when it's coming up, I really feel like that's advice saying, you know what? Give yourself a few months to really see how you feel about this person. Get to really know them. Because it seems like you're smitten with them, but even if you've known them casually for a while, get to know them a little deeper, a little bit how they work, how they live, their family life, things like that. I feel like this is a time for you to get closer without getting too deep, so you can really see what this person's about. Justice is telling me that you're getting to that point where you're actually waiting. You seem to be handling this well. I feel like that's why Justice is coming up for you here. It's kind of like you're not, like you'll see the wheel above her head, and you're not waiting to see what way fate turns. You're getting in there and investigating to decide what's actually here and how to handle the fate how to handle the information that's coming towards you. You're creating your own fate in this one. That's the Justice. Okay. I feel like Justice is also like saying, you're making a good decision here. You're going slowly. You're deciding. You're going through this. If it's worth it or not. You're doing that Hermit thing. You're doing the Hermit, seeing, is the Sun card there? Does the Sun card really exist here? Justice. I feel like Justice is you working this out. You going very slowly, cautiously. You're acknowledging your feelings, but you're looking closely. Because you're looking for something that's really going to withstand the test of time. You're not really interested in something that's going to last a couple months or even a couple years. You want something that's going to last through the end of your life. That's what really you want. And that's kind of why you're doing it this way. Now, can we talk about this? All right, now, you do have the Knight of Cups here in the environment. This is coming towards you. But I feel like another reason, it's not about that though, is what they're getting me. It's not about if the love is there. It's about how long will it last? Is this person only interested for now? Will it just go on for a couple months? Will it just go on for a couple years possibly? None of those options you want. You want the long haul. You want to cement somebody into your life. You're sick of looking. You don't want to keep doing it. You want to just build a life with somebody. So you're looking at this and you're like, yeah, I get like, especially when you get to the Justice, you realize it's coming forward. And it's something this person is feeling for you, but I don't feel like it's good enough. It's not good enough that they just like you. You're like trying to see, like, is this deeper than that? Is this going to hold on? Is this going to withhold the test of time? Because I really feel like what keeps coming through over and over again is like 2 months, 2 years, not good enough. I want the lifetime thing. I want somebody I could just, build a life with and get comfortable with and just have that enjoyment. I don't want to have to do this anymore. I don't want to just have somebody for a couple of years and end up looking for somebody else. I don't want to do that. And now, there's an oracle card right after it says improving health. Now, I feel like this is something that's saying the improving health, as time goes, you're going to really understand exactly what this person's intentions are. Are they just smitten with you for a moment? Are they just like, you're a good idea for now? Or are they having that long term, like they're coming toward you because they're thinking you could cement into their life and they're feeling the same way you are. They're looking for somebody that they want for the rest of their life. Is that what they're looking for? The improving health is telling me you're going to figure this out, especially since this is a general read. I feel like they're saying you need time to feel out where they are, but you're going to find out where they are. You're definitely going to see it. You're going to know how you feel. You're going to know how they feel. And as you go forward, well, the top card I'm noticing is it's up to you what you're going to do with this. Because you have to be comfortable with what you're seeing from this person if you're really going to get involved that deeply. You have the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Now, I don't know how this sounds, but I'm just going to say it the way I see it. Page of Swords, that's somebody who listens very intently. That can be a spying energy. But, how do I put this? This can build your confidence in this other person because I feel like you're listening very closely. You're paying attention where necessary. You might be stopping into certain spots just to see, as everybody where they said there's going to be. I don't feel like you're overdoing it because the page is more of a passive energy. I don't feel like you're overdoing it, but I feel like this should be a confidence builder. It's definitely something you have to keep control of because if it becomes obsessive, it could actually turn a good situation bad. But it is the page at this point, so I feel like it can be a confidence builder. In these beginning stages, if you're seeing things when you're looking behind the scenes or kind of sneaking a peek here and there about things that maybe wouldn't be so obvious, if there's problems at this stage, they're probably not going to get better. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're spying around a little bit, I don't feel like you're being ridiculous, like you're hiding in garbage cans, like seeing who they're talking to. I don't think like anything like that's happening. But like just every once in a while, just like, oh, I was in town, so I thought I'd stop into your office or something weird like that. Or you're like just checking their Facebook, seeing who's replying to what. I feel like it's little things. And I'm getting, though, that these should be confidence-building things, and I don't feel like it should be a habit. Just be careful it doesn't become obsessive. Because if you're seeing what you want to see, just be careful it doesn't get out of control. It could. Especially, I'm a Pisces myself. It could go there. But if you have control of it, you should be fine. Because I'm feeling like you're building something here with the Knight of Pentacles. This thing you're doing right here, I feel like it could be a good thing. It can be. But be careful because you're going to continue this pattern. Just make sure you keep yourself under control with it. I don't feel personally like every once in a while for like, if you're like every 2 months, every now you just kind of check up here and there, you end up where they're not expecting to see you, just to see if everything's on the level. If that's every couple months, I personally don't think that's a problem. You're going to have to evaluate that for yourself. But for example, if you're doing that every week, or God forbid every day, that's going to be a problem. I'm just warning you ahead of time. I definitely feel like you know what you can do and can't do in this situation. I'm not one to worry about it too much because if it's once every now and then, that could come across as a loving situation. Like the fact that you just show up every now and then could excite them. That can make them very happy. It can make them feel loved. Like every 2 months or something like that. But like again, if you're doing this every week or every day, God forbid, it's going to be a problem. Good? Good. Because you're going to decide going forward what you actually want to do with the situation because you're going to learn where they actually stand. I feel like that last part. Did I get that? That's good. I can identify with that. Like, as long as you keep it like to a little romantic, once in a great while type thing, I feel you're fine. I feel like if you're a Pisces like me and you're connecting the way I think you are, if this is hitting for you, you'll realize like what that means. Like I could go overboard and you could turn a good situation bad. I feel like you realize what that means. It's completely in your control what you do with it. Good. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.